Hi, I'm Symphoneers, and today we're taking a look at Azorius artifacts in Standard. So this deck is entirely based around Simulacrum Synthesizer being a broken magic card. Initially I thought it might be ban-worthy because I had like a 75% win rate with this list, and it was just crushing people, but I was dodging like Prowess and Boros Convokant, etc. And once I started getting those aggro matchups, it kind of leveled out to a more fair like 63 or 64% win rate or whatever, but still. When you get to play Synthesizer and you're not dead, you tend to win. It's just real gross. The kind of main thing backing this up in terms of our ability to threaten and clock people is Thousand Moon Smithy. This just also produces a dynamic power toughness token, a Construct, I'll probably call it, in the video. And it can flip over into Barracks of the Thousands, which is also a very good source of just ongoing threats and stuff for the deck. Way at the top end, we have the Mightstone and Weakstone. This just kind of pivots between being a removal spell and a divination. Feel very free to legend rule it, because the kind of second and beyond Mightstones and Weakstones effectively cost 3 mana, so often you'll be able to like do that and then also play out a lower cost artifact as well, which tends to be reasonably good. Also in the 3-drop slot, we have Cryptic Coats, just 2 of them, because looping Cryptic Coats in this deck is gross. Every time you cast a Cryptic Coat, it triggers the Synthesizer. And yeah, if you are late in the game and you're versus Control or something, just loop Cryptic Coat 4 times or whatever, and whew, you have a really scary board, and you didn't actually have to like draw any cards or whatever. I used to have more in the deck, but I found that 2 was, you know, more or less consistent, that you would draw them in long games and stuff. And yeah, it was handy. Annex Sentry is an adaptation for just dealing with aggro and so on. Just something that can kind of like Glass Casket or exile any cheap artifact or creature the opponent controls. And it is a 1/4, so it can like block mono red, and it's not just dead to Lightning Strike or whatever the way Brutal Cathar or something might be. Way down low in the 2-drop slot, we have Iron Crag as a source of ramp, as well as Fabrication Foundry. The Fabrication Foundry in particular is actually extremely important for the list, because the 3 mana ability gives us so much more play versus, mid-range and control strategies that can actually interact with our deck and, you know, kill a synthesizer, destroy a synthesizer, or whatever. And we are also a list that is just aggressively legend-ruling expensive artifacts, like Thousand Moon Smithy and the Mightstone and Weakstone. So if we've done that once in the game, we can actually use the Fabrication Foundry 3-mana ability on a Mightstone and Weakstone on the battlefield, get the graveyard Mightstone and Weakstone back onto the battlefield, and use that to kill a Shieldred or draw more cards or whatever. So yeah, the 3-mana ability on this, very good and important. Also in the 2-drop slot, we have some spring-loaded Saw Blades. These are just nice kind of instant speed removal, which is particularly important versus like Mono Blue or something for taking out haughty Djinns or whatever. The Craft with Artifact clause, like the Blade Wheel Chariot, can actually be a relevant threat in those matchups as well, because the Craft is not something that can be countered by, I think, anything in Standard. Maybe we have some Stifle or something. Certainly no, like, commonly played counter spell. So yeah, it just, again, kind of similar to the Foundry, gives us some additional play, even though we're not often excited to fiddle around with the Chariot. In the 1-drop slot, we have card advantage in the form of the Skull Bomb and Razka Puzzle Door. The Puzzle Door is the better card advantage, but it is also less flexible. You are just going to use it to dig for interaction versus aggro, or like Synthesizer and Smithy versus mid-ranger control, where you have some breathing room to play your do-nothing, and kind of set up and stuff. Skull Bomb is a card that's in the deck so that we're not dead to particular and kind of like odd hate pieces. It's kind of similar to the Saw Blades in that way of like, we might use it to bounce a Djinn to the opponent's hand, and that might be irrelevant. Or there is the Elish Norn in Standard that shuts off enter the battlefield effects, and that is brutal for this deck. That is a really big issue for us. So having some interaction that doesn't rely on an ETB effect the way Spring-Loaded Sawblades and Mightstone and Weakstone do gives us some play into those permanents or into those creatures that we might otherwise have an issue with. Moonsnare Prototype was also in this slot in prior builds of the deck, and that might be correct. There might be like a 2-2 split or something that is ideal. But yeah, both of them, like the channel on Moonsnare Prototype doing kind of a similar thing to the Skull Bomb, both of them just a way to give us additional play, and yeah. The mana is mostly pretty simple. Lots of duels and Kamigawa channel lands and stuff. Fomori Vault is also not an okay magic card. This thing makes it so you can never flood. Just full stop. You can never flood with this deck because of the Fomori Vault. Or, like, theoretically you can, but it's very unlikely, and yada yada yada. Yeah, the ability to pitch an artifact and to dig like 8 cards deep or whatever to get the Assimilation Aegis, which I didn't talk about, get the Assimilation Aegis that you need in order to deal with a Shieldred or something is very strong. I would say you could maybe get away with just running 2 of them, but yeah, as many as you can craft or whatever, you should run. Yeah, sorry, I briefly skipped over Assimilation Aegis. This is just another thing that is interaction or removal for us, and kind of like the Annex Sentry, or part of why we're casting stuff on 3 this way is just Simulacrum Synthesizer triggers. So with a Synthesizer down, we will get a, 7/7 Construct or whatever, exile their best threat. Maybe if it is a high utility creature, we actually equip it to a Construct and get like Impulse Draw off of that dragon. Maybe converting something into a Shieldred will matter, etc. It does have a lot of weird, like, layers, rules, and interactions. You're going to punt and lose games because you misplay Assimilation Aegis, and that's okay. That's magic. Shrug. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that is more or less the deck. If you like the deck tech and like the video, like, subscribe, etc. helps the channel a lot. Consider supporting on Patreon, following on Twitch, and etc. Links for everything in the description. That's enough rambling, let's get on to some actual gameplay. This hand has slow mana, which is not great, but we're on the play and we have Skull Bombs, which give us a thing we can sink a single mana into. So, like, not the end of the world. We do have Slow hand versus red is not ideal. Spring-Loaded Sawblades is something, like our cheap, efficient interaction in this matchup is a good thing to get. Yeah, at the moment we are just looking at holding up Sawblades, probably for like a Slick Shot show-off or something. Yep, we have the very good bird incoming, and we did not hit land, which is annoying. Because missing land drops bad vis-a-vis winning games of Magic. But yeah, Slick Shot show-off happens for the opponent. Sawblades can only damage tapped permanents, so we can't, unfortunately, short the Ancestral Anger. Pass to blockers, give them a chance to cast more things, and yeah, there we go. Just, yeah, reduce their ability to kind of interact or do something like cast the Monstrous Rage on the Phoenix chick. Yeah. Theoretically, we could hold it even more, but yeah, they just shoot us with a Play with Fire here. So, big issue so far is just not drawing lands. The eggs, the 1-mana artifacts do help with that. Okay. So we at least hit a 3rd land, which is very relevant for us not losing. And we just cycle through some Skull Bombs to get more cards in hand. Kamana Face's Cock is on for the opponent. Their hand quality does not seem spectacular. I say waiting for them to play something else. Like, they didn't play a Godric or whatever pre-combat. So I think we have a little bit of wiggle room here to get a Synthesizer down, ideally. I'm actually very comfortable keeping... We either want, like, lands or interaction on top. Lands because it lets us just play our cards efficiently, or, like, start maybe double spelling each turn, which can be nice. Cryptic code is not good in this matchup. Like, it can be a blocker, but it's not what we're looking for. Fabrication Foundry, again, is like, if we had this on turn 2 or something, sure, but we don't necessarily want it at this point in the game. I don't know why this has a scry on ETB. It would be a gross card without the scry. Canra, Spell Spear. Okay. So, it's a good threat, but we are going to get to cast our Assimilation Aegis, which is nice. Also, the Ward 2. I believe this'll work, right? Yeah, we can use the Mightstone and Weakstone mana to pay for the ward. So that's nice. Yep. They will still get to hit us with the Phoenix Chick, but we took out a gigantic threat from the opponent. Like, gigantic high-quality threat. And now they're just stuck hitting us with a bird, which is good for us. I would say we're very likely to win this game. We might not. Okay. I was going to say a kind of threshold or a evaluation you can use versus Mono Red or Boris Convoker or whatever is if you have a synthesizer down and you're above 10, you're pretty safe. You're in pretty good shape. They have clocked us a bit, so that's not super ideal. Or like they've gotten us down to 6. But we have enough breathing room to cast another synthesizer. I'll keep an Assimilation Aegis up top. And then that lets us do this. So we get to take out the Phoenix Chick, the main kind of thing that can evade our pile of 9/9s. Play out the Skull Bomb, get the count up, hit them for 10. Yeah. Mono Red player figures they don't have a way to kill us with that game state, so we win. Good games to the opponent. Okay. Kind of weird hand. Slick, Ruckus. Okay, so either way, we know we're versus a very aggressive opponent. Mightstone and Weakstone is okay, but a little bit weird here. I'm kind of hoping for untapped mana, just because having Saw Blades, or something like that to interact with the opponent's creatures would be good. They foretell another Demonic Ruckus. So, yeah, we do hit untapped mana in the Fomori's vault, so I'm gonna play that out. I would like to play out a Mana Rock, but if they have, like, I don't know, Slick Shot Show Off or something, Demonic Ruckus, that's a lot of damage we're taking, and I would rather not. Samet? Mm-hmm. So Spring-Loaded Saw Blade's a little bit narrow here. A little bit awkward. Oh god, tapped creature. Okay, sure. That's annoying. The Saw Blades are soft to Vigilance. I used to have more in the deck because, yeah, because of the Mono Blue stuff I mentioned, but randomly being very soft to certain threats like Samet or whatever, not great. Not super ideal. So they get a card off of Ruckus. This is not super ideal either. We would prefer to have higher quality removal for Samet, because if they kill the Annex Sentry, then they will be able to they'll get Samet back, and because they ETB, they'll draw a card if they connect again. But anyway, we probably play towards just holding up the Saw Blades. Nice thing this turn we can do is play out 2 Mana Rocks, and we will still have Saw Blade mana, so that's something. We can't punch through Kodama, which is a little bit awkward, but we're fine with that. Versus a deck like the opponent's, I'm assuming that if we don't die in the first 6 turns or whatever, we are probably in pretty good shape. Snakeskin Veil. Ugh. Okay, so they have some protection. Modified creature triggers Kodama's thing. worth noting, off of surveilling and stuff, we can still get things back with Fabrication Foundry, so that might be a consideration. That said, I think I would like to... Our mana does not quite work here, which is unfortunate. This is fine, though. Anyway, sorry, I'm thinking too hard. Do this. Try to kill Kodama. Kill Kodama. We burned through their Snakeskin Veil, so that's good. Yeah, play out the Fabrication Foundry. We don't need to swing in. They have shown us haste threats. I'm going to be conservative here and hold back, because we have a lot of ability to develop on upcoming turns with, like, recurring a Mightstone and a Weakstone or something. Oh, this is going to be very relevant. Animist Smite, ugh. So they do get the Samet back. We can Fomori Vault here as well. Yeah, we have some options. Or we can double activate the Fabrication Foundry to get the Fabrication Foundries to get stuff back, I think. I should, sorry, be sure to tap the Mightstone Weakstone. Yeah, so pay 5 into this, get this Mightstone Weakstone back, sacrifice this one, or exile it rather. Then we -5, -5 Ansreg. Could just... I'm being a little bit fiddly here. I'm okay with... Actually, the way we need to pay for Foundry, we have to, say, pay 4 mana into this. Yep. And then we exile, probably Craig out of these things. I think I was... yeah, do this, take out... We're probably okay getting hit by Samet. Maybe. I'm gonna get Ruby here because I don't want to rebuy the Samet ETB again. Get that land out of the way with Meticulous Archives. Yeah, sorry, slightly slow or dirtly turn, but we do stuff there. Another Animist Smite. That's annoying. Restless Ridgeline clap, 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 clap. So all of that happens. Think they have another Animist Smite? We have to block the ridgeline even if we get stuff back, so we should probably try to fish for something with Fomori Vault first. Actually, let's land the Araska Puzzle Door, do this. Woof. Okay. Otawara... I think we're probably dying, but, you know, we can try to fish for something. Do this. I'm just going to nuke the Mightstone Weakstone here to keep things simple for myself. We have to hit Samet, even though it's not ideal. And then we will fish for Araska Puzzle Door stuff. Ugh. The top of our deck not really doing what we need to stay alive in this situation. A lot of land. And we're dead to follow up Samet, right? Unless... Hitting 3 Animist Smite in this game is kind of annoying. But yeah, we get effectively tempoed out by the Gruul Legends deck. Good games to the opponent. This hand is reasonably good. Yeah, our Deserted Beach is a little bit slow, which is awkward for sequencing Araska Puzzle Door, but we can play Fabrication Foundry on 2, and that ensures we hit Assimilation Aegis and are not, like, dead in the water versus aggro, and etc. Spyglass Sirens, so probably versus Pirates? Pirates or something else. Shrug. Siren chips in for 1. Oh, this is budget artifacts? Sure. Yeah, this is a fairly standard build. I'm not sure who popularized it or whatever. But yeah, Moon Circuit Hacker, Spyglass Iron, Zoetic Glyph, etc., etc. We could Assimilation Aegis here. 1000 Moon Smithy, like, getting that down's not the worst, although I think doing just a spring-loaded, maybe we want to try to play around a follow-up ninjutsu. I'm thinking about this too hard, probably. Play out Oraska Puzzle Door, then we'll also just hold up the spring-loaded Saw Blades. Crack the Oraska Puzzle Door on their turn, probably just trying to draw a land so we can Mightstone, Weakstone. Keep the value train rolling. Map token on the hacker, sure. They toss the network disruptor into the bin. Pass to blockers to give them a chance to, I don't know, do something. There's no ninjutsu for 1 in the format, but you know. Shh. God, really that? I said that, and then I instantly knew it was wrong, and like, had seen the thing. Anyway. Sometimes you're stupid. Seachrome Coast. It's not going to be untapped here, which is a little bit annoying, but we can Smithy or whatever. Play with Mightstone, Weakstone on the subsequent turn. Either way, we're only taking 1 off the Siren, which is fine-ish. It does give them the Fading Hope back to hand. It does give them a ninjutsu on that again, which is like a bit awkward, but I'm not too worried about it. 1000 Moon Smithy, make a 4/4. Network Disruptor taps our 4/4. And then, yeah, Ginger Brute, sure. Playing out all the 1/1s and stuff. They hacker a Spyglass Siren back to hand. Bing bang bong, we go to 13. Yeah. I think we're probably drawing with Mightstone, Weakstone. It's a little bit awkward for Assimilation Aegis, or our mana's not going to support doing that and also casting Assimilation Aegis. We could roll into... no, sorry, main reason I'm doing this over removing a creature is just almost every creature is a 1/1. So, like, spending 5 mana to kill a 1/1, not super good. Not ideal. Play out and crack the Skull Bomb here, I think. Okay, we hit our land for the turn. We can attack, I think we're interested in constraining their mana a little bit and making them, like, burn mana on Ginger Brute, stopping Moon Circuit Hacker from attacking, etc. Because if their play pattern here is like, yeah, map token, Ginger Brute, pay for Ginger Brute's evasion, they've invested a bunch of resources in making Ginger Brute a threat we care about, and we feel a lot better about burning a Mightstone, Weakstone, or an Annex Sentry or whatever on it. They did not hit the 1/1 counter mode. Or, the 1/1 counter off of the Explorer, rather. Prosperous Thief, sure. Bing bang bong, we go to 8. The Annex Sentry is good. Because, yeah, we might actually want to, ooh, okay, helpful. We don't want to pay for the flip here because it's too expensive. We're like tapping 3 mana worth of stuff to do the flip. And getting a tapped 1000 Moon Smithy, not worth it. Going to manually tap the Fomori vaults just to, I don't know, help reduce the odds of punting. Do this. Simulacrum Synthesizer. I will take another Annex Sentry. Yeah. So now we're getting constructs off of this, and that's pretty good. We could also replay, or play another 1000 Moon Smithy, do some stuff. Let's Annex Sentry, I don't know, one of the Spyglass Sirens, because we're able to block pretty effectively on the ground now. They will be able to play out a Network Disruptor and tap something. But yeah, we're able to do that. I think we swing in with the 8/8 here. They have a lot of mana to work with, which is a little bit awkward. Or like they have a lot of ways to spend that mana too. Just on, yeah, the map tokens or whatever. They're trying to make the Prosperous Thief outsize the Sentry, sure. Does seem like they're maybe... Oh, they hit it. Zoetic Glyph on top for our opponent. It's not ideal. We take the block even though it's awkward, just because we don't want to take 7 or whatever this turn. And we can start spitting out a lot of constructs, like immediately replay another Annex Sentry to deal with their threats and so on. Attack them for 16. Yeah, not ideal. Also 2 cards in hand. Zoetic Glyph. Oh god, they can Zoetic Glyph the Disruptor? That's an important thing to remember. Because, yeah, the Network Disruptor is a artifact creature, so the Zoetic Glyph can go on that and we would be dead in the air. Is the flip here any good? 1, 2, 3, still not great. So let's do this. Being sure to tap the Mightstone, Weakstone there. Yeah, Legend Rule, Mightstone, Weakstone. Keep the fresh one. -5/-5 Network Disruptor. Take out the... Do we want to take out the 4/3? We could take out another blocker, which might be the way to go. We're like just a little behind clocking them as effectively as I would like. Attacking with 2 things here does threaten lethal. Or like they have to burn at least 1 creature blocking, which is something. I think the move here is actually just, it might just be Ginger Brute. Because Ginger Brute's their only other big evasion thing that can carry the Zoetic Glyph. And yeah, I don't really want to... We're probably supposed to attack with at least 1 thing. So that we put ourselves in a position where if they let anything through next turn, they die. Or we can like Assimilation Aegis something. And this is still pretty good in terms of not exposing us to too much risk on the ground. They go to 2. So that's nice. Theoretically, we could have been dead there to Ninja... Or no, we couldn't, because Zoetic Glyph is sorcery speed. Me just trying to work through fake lines? I don't know. Honestly, I just played a very long, annoying control match that is absolutely getting cut from the video. Because it was just way too long and I lost to mill, or like, and there's a lot of roping and stuff, so editing is annoying. But yeah, in light of that, or because of that, I'm just feeling a little bit like fried or whatever, or I'm trying to keep energy and focus up and etc. But you know, sometimes that doesn't really pan out. So sorry, we can do just Assimilation Aegis. I was looking very briefly at just like, do we want a Fabrication Foundry or something? But no, the thing we do here is just Assimilation Aegis, take out the Prosperous Thief, I guess. Yeah. Attack with... I don't know. We can actually do this. So, 1, 2, 3, 4... the reason I'm bothering with this, and don't consider it a waste of time or whatever, is they could have an unsummon for one of the constructs, which would let them multi-block and kill us on the backswing, maybe, or whatever. But anyway, I'm just being diligent here about taking out another blocker with our Fabrication Foundry. Yeah, just reduce the odds of us getting blown out by whatever. Attack with the 14/14 constructs. And yeah, we killed them. Woo! Yeah, take the opponent to -54. That was closer than I would have liked. But we're able to get there, so that's nice. Good games to the opponent. I'm gonna say this hand is fine. We have workable mana and stuff we can do on 2. We are surveilling towards a higher impact card, a synthesizer, just kind of whatever. Synthesizer, Smithy, Mightstone, Weakstone. We are versus Orzhov. Life gain. Okay, this should be pretty fine. Yeah, not very worried about life gain. Play out my friend and yours, Craig. Get the Lunarch Veteran under the Sentry to slow down whatever they are following that up with. I assume the very push to Johnny's Pride Mate, Spirit or whatever, or yeah, Amalia. Scoured Barons happens. We can Assimilation Aegis Amalia. That's probably worth it. Sure. Do this. Yep. We will pay the life. I think we do Igonjo here. Play out the Skull Bomb, crack the Skull Bomb. We're maybe interested in holding the Skull Bomb for whatever creatures they play out on their turn. The 3 mana activation specifically bounce something back to hand, because life gain decks will pretty consistently... How do we feel about the bat? I don't particularly care about them taking the Saw Blades right now, because they're not playing good creatures. Yeah, we do have the Skull Bomb. I'm just gonna draw with the Skull Bomb, I think. Fomori Vault. Coat. Make some jump blockers and stuff. We could Foundry for the Skull Bomb, which is a little bit weird, but like maybe fine. I'd like to coat here at least to get a creature that we can throw under Amalia, or are more comfortable throwing under Amalia. I'd like to Skull Bomb, or get the Skull Bomb back off of exiling Ironcrag, just because card advantage is more valuable for us. Card advantage and like potentially interacting or bouncing something. It's more yep, bouncing something is more valuable for us here than just like having 7 mana or whatever we would have been at. Simulacrum Synthesizer, you're nice. The Skull Bomb does have the sorcery restriction, which is annoying, but, you know, we'll do this. Make them reinvest mana into it. Synthesizer, we might be holding the land to fish for something with Fomori Vault. I guess we can, if we draw, like, if we don't draw anything good, we can do that anyway, so, like, we can chuck the thing we draw. Do this. We can Assimilation Aegis Amalia. or sorry, the line we have available to us here that's vaguely interesting is Fabrication, Foundry, eat the Assimilation Aegis, they legend rule Amalia, so they don't actually get additional value really unless they play out like another ETB creature, or like thing that keys off of ETBs like Lunarch Veterans. And that gives us back the Skull Bomb to bounce the Shieldred again and to just kind of keep tempoing them until we draw stuff that we can use with Synthesizer. That's not an especially good line. Or like an especially fun, I don't know, productive line. But it is something that kind of stalls them out and stops us from taking too much damage from Shieldred, which is neat. I like not dying to Shieldred. Our opponent vibing, moisturized in their lane and thriving. This might be the last game of the day just because I've had a really hard time recording through people roping me and stuff. Like they've eaten a ton of my recording time. I'm going long actually just getting this game, so yeah, it's okay, great. Fomori Vault, chuck the other Fomori Vault. This isn't like super ideal, but it's fine. They haven't shown us any land destruction or whatever that is at risk of killing our Fomori Vault. Assimilation Aegis is something we can play this turn that's productive. The Thousand Moon Smithy and Mightstone Weakstone are both very good. But yeah, Assimilation Aegis gets us a construct and progresses the board state and stuff. I'm just gonna get the bat here. Swing in with the 3/2 unblockable. So our opponent's not fully AFK. I don't know why they didn't, like, replay Shieldred that turn or something. Maybe they just figured they didn't want to, expose it to removal. I don't know, I'm trying here. I'm trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. Draw Thousand Moon Smithy is nice. Resolve, Do I want to do that weird play? Maybe? I don't know, I also don't hate just, like, next, go to combat, swing in with these. We're very fine with them blocking the 7/7 with the Shieldred. They might throw the Amalia under the 7/7, I guess. No, they just take 10. Okay. Yeah, then we do this. Spit out 2 constructs off of the Smithy and the Synthesizer. Theoretically, we miss like a little bit of damage there by not doing that pre-combat. However, I felt hiding that play pattern from our opponent was worth it. They keep LSL Core on top, and they explode because we have a bunch of 10/10 constructs or whatever. So, yeah, that's something. I was hoping to get more games, or like better games or whatever there today. I guess some of them were fine. I've just had like 1 or 2 really slow, ropey, tilty ones. So I'm gonna end the video here. Hope you enjoyed it. Click buttons and things, thanks. Have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. Thank you for watching the video, and an extra big thank you to the Patreon patrons and YouTube members that help make these videos possible. Hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.